Okay, hello everybody. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day today. This is going to be another music therapy podcast, and today we are going to be looking at a song by For King and Country. And with me, I have my father, and his name is Toby Holly, and he is a licensed mental health counselor.
Nice to be with
you. And he is going to be going through, and he is going to be looking at kind of like the analysis behind the song, or at least our kind of view about how the song could be helping you guys. And I'm going to kind of go through and look at the music aspect of the song. But while I go ahead and pull all that stuff up, why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown of the song that we're going to be looking at today?
Sure. So like Holly said, I'm a Christian counselor, and she is a musician, of course, and so kind of a daughter-father team, and our hope is to put together this fun podcast and talk about music and how music could be a blessing to you in your life. And so I'll share sort of the counseling perspective, and she'll sing the music perspective, and we hope it's useful.
Yep.
And this evening we're going to be talking about the song Together. And actually, there's some really interesting history about this song. It was released May 1st, 2020, which, of course, is right at the front end of COVID, which, you know, really all the lockdowns and stuff started sometime around March.
Oh, yeah.
And so what I know, and you could attest to this, is anytime you professionally produce a song, it is not something that you do overnight. So they surely had been working on that for months, probably before there was even any sense of COVID. And then, you know, COVID happened, which was a massive interruption to everybody, including them. And but they persisted in working out the production and the release of the song because the message was like perfect.
That's true. Yeah.
I would say a blessing from God, because we certainly needed the message then. Not that we don't need it now,
right?
But it was just amazing timing. So the title Together emphasizes the value, the tremendous importance of us as a community working together as you could say a team, a community, a family. So emphasis on unity, and you'll see that as we kind of break down the song.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Why don't we go ahead and jump in now that I have everything kind of pulled up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play the song for us. And then once we go through like a section, I will go ahead and like just read the lyrics for us. That way we don't get kind of like lost in anything that's going on with what the lyrics are saying. So that way we can go into a better kind of analysis of the song. So let me go ahead and pull it up. Okay, here it is. So this is For King and Country, Together. Hopefully that's loud enough.
This is for the busted hearts. This is for the question marks. This is for the outcast soul, lost control, no one knows. Sing it for the can't go back. Sing it for the broken past. Sing it for the just found out. Life is now upside down.
All right, let's go ahead and pause it. So that was verse 1. I think that was sung by Luke. I'm pretty sure.
I think Luke sung that,
okay, so I'll go ahead and read the lyrics for us. So this is verse 1. This is for the busted hearts. This is for the question marks. This is for the outcast soul, lost control, no one knows. Sing it for the can't go back. Sing it for the broken past. Sing it for the just found out. Life is now upside down.
Beautiful, verse 1. To me, when I listen to this verse, what I think is happening here is if any of these conditions relate to you or something like that, then this song, this message is for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of an offering, as if, you know, maybe pay attention. We have a message for you.
Yeah.
The busted heart, which, you know, that's a really neat phrase.
That is actually a cool phrase. I was going to actually mention that. The first line to me is kind of what stuck out immediately to me. Yeah, I think that line actually kind of acknowledges, like, I think you said this, pain and suffering that people may be experiencing. I mean, literally busted hearts, right? They're kind of like, that's what that tells me. But yeah, I don't know. I think this verse also, for me, as I was listening to it, kind of acknowledges like pain and struggle that people face, which can kind of lead them to kind of questioning their own faith. And I think it suggests that like you're supposed to be like singing and praying for those who are hurt and lost. You know, I don't know if you caught that, but that's kind of what I was feeling when I heard it.
Yeah, sing it for the is how several lines start, and to me you could almost superimpose pray.
Oh yeah,
in lieu of sing. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so that was verse 1. So let's go ahead and jump into the next part. And let me go ahead and look at the lyrics real quick. I think, okay,
Pre-chorus.
so yeah, I was just going to say what comes next is the pre-chorus and the chorus. And they're kind of both short, so I think I'll go ahead and, if you're okay with that, play both together, and then we'll kind of look at them as a whole rather than separately. Okay, so this is the pre-chorus and the chorus. And let me pull that up. Okay, there we go. I love the bass in this song too. It's really deep. I think this is the chorus now. Yeah. Ooh, Tori. I hear Tori in there. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Go ahead and pause it there. Yeah, so that was an awesome pre-chorus and chorus. I absolutely love how everybody came in there for the chorus. That, to me, when I heard it for the first time, really added like a special touch to this song. Because, you know, as a musician, that's something that I kind of look for, is something that's like a little bit different, kind of stands out. And it's been a while, at least for me, that I've heard a really like powerful and good song kind of come in with like that amount of like vocal kind of in the background to really push the song. Like that's like the major focus for me. That was kind of pushing the energy there, and that was really, really cool.
Well, I mean, I hate to sound hokey, but I mean the whole message of the song is together.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah, you're right. That was probably intentional.
What they did there is create this mass of amazing singers, and they are singing all together. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
So
I'm sorry. I should have caught on to that. Okay. So here is I'll go ahead and read for us the pre-chorus and chorus, and then we'll jump into some analysis here. So let's see. Here's the pre-chorus. If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you're feeling alone and don't understand, if you're fighting in the fight of your life, then stand. We're going to make it through this hand in hand. So that was the pre-chorus, and then here is the chorus. And if we all fall, we will fall together. And I think if I recall, that was said twice, that line. So yeah, that was essentially the chorus. So yeah.
Yes, and I just would like to make the observation that here in the pre-chorus, they are again sort of addressing humanity, you know, folks in the community. There's an added little bonus, and if this is you, then raise your hand, or if you relate to this, then stand.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that for me, at least, the genius in the song indicates that not only am I going to make an invitation, but you have to accept the invitation by taking action.
Yeah, that's true.
So it becomes not just an I and a you, but an us.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I think that's pretty intentional. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I think, for me, I think that was intentional too. Another thing about this, kind of like pre-chorus and chorus, is I feel like it is starting to kind of engage listeners to kind of seek hope from like a sense of community, like the sense of together, you know, like we were just talking about. And I think it kind of highlights the importance of standing together through challenges, which can kind of be seen as relying on God's strength through the support of fellow believers, rather than trying to figure out certain circumstances like on your own. You know, it's relying on a community, which is what God built us to be, a community, you know.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, not so much living on an island, but doing it in a community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay, so that was the chorus and pre-chorus, unless there was something else you wanted to add to that.
That's good.
Okay, so yeah, why don't we go ahead and jump into the next part, which is the verse 2, and I think that is long enough to just do verse 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and just do verse 2, which I believe Tori Kelly sings.
I was going to say, I think Tori sung that.
I love her voice. It sounds so good in this song, too. I love her voice. It's so pretty. I think this is still verse 2. Oh no, wait, hold up. I jumped into the pre-chorus there. Hold on.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, that was kind of verse 2, and then pretty much that was actually almost the entire pre-chorus as well. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and jump into that? I will read it for us.
Okay.
So here we go. All right, here's verse 2, and I'll also read the pre-chorus since we pretty much finished it. Okay. So here's verse 2. This is for the second chance. This is for the new romance. Sing it for the loved in vain. Overcame, not too late. That was the verse, which Tori Kelly sang beautifully. And then here is the pre-chorus. If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you're feeling alone and don't understand, if you're fighting in the fight of your life, then stand. We're going to make it through this hand in hand. That's nice.
The line that I would just like to comment on is this is for second chances. And so, of course, that refers to one of the tenets of Christianity, second chances. None of us are perfect. And there are second chances relative to forgiveness, restoration. So there's just an acknowledgement of hope to me when I hear that beautiful line.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Actually, I can't really think to add anything onto that. That was good. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and jump into the chorus, because I really want to get into this part of the music. It just gets really deep here, and it's there's a note I wanted to add to it, but I want to go ahead and play it first before I say it, because I think it'll make more sense once we hear it. So let's go ahead and jump into the chorus. All right, back it up just a little bit. There we go. This is the pre-chorus, I think. Yeah. Here's the chorus. Ooh, I love the claps in the background. I just heard that. There's like claps going on. Oh my gosh, I love that. Her voice there, that was such a beautiful little added thing there. Alright, I'll go ahead and pause it for us before we get into the bridge, which I think is next. So yeah, I wanted to add this little thought I had about the chorus before we kind of jump into the bridge. But I just thought that it was really, really cool that whenever the chorus comes in, there is just like this like overwhelming sound of like a bunch of different things going on vocally. So whenever we look at the verses and the pre-chorus, we'll maybe have one or two people kind of who are singing in the song, but who are kind of staying on the melody line. But in the chorus, a lot of what's going on is like maybe some bass and like some drums, and I hear like clapping like I was like listening for in the chorus. But a lot of like the uniqueness and the like the sound of the chorus itself is coming through like voices, and they're harmonizing together. Like for example, when Tori Kelly just like pops off and she goes like on a riff, and she goes up and she goes down. And I think Kirk Franklin, who's going to come in a second, he's going to go through and just like talk about truth just like halfway through the middle of it. So I just think that that's interesting, and a point like that I wanted to bring out as a musician, that that's something that when I write music, I try to do very intentionally. I try to make the chorus kind of stand out, but if there's a point I'm trying to make, I kind of try to make that point with the instrumentation as well, not just in the lyrics. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I wanted to point it out.
Both your voice, not just the lyrics.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I can go ahead and read the chorus again for us one more time, and then we can jump into our kind of second thought there with the analysis. Okay, here's the chorus. And if we fall, we will fall together. And when we rise, we will rise together. That's pretty much it. And
that's the chief theme of the song. When you
yeah,
say the chorus.
yeah, I would say, yeah.
Whenever we kind of enter into the reiterations of the chorus, one of the things that I just like to do is share is my experience as a counselor. When I work with sometimes whole families will seek counseling. Maybe there's some sort of dilemma, or maybe a child has an issue or something, and so you're working with mom and dad and maybe the whole sibling group.
Right.
And those are extra special, powerful encounters, because you have a lot of people kind of pouring into the room and pouring their thoughts and their emotions and things, and that can be quite intense when you multiply it by the number of people in the room. But not just intense, but it's beautiful because you end up with just a lot of desire towards love and healing and connection. So I mean the together theme is powerful for sure.
Yeah, that's so
I
true.
experience that in counseling pretty often.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think another thing I want to add to that, pretty much essentially saying what you said, which is I think that the chorus definitely does emphasize the importance of unity and finding strength in God's love as well. I think that it also kind of suggests that even when we're faced with like setbacks, like the word fall that was used in this part of the chorus, I think.
I remember.
Believers can overcome it together. And I think the second part of that as well is that it kind of resonates with the concept of like forgiveness in Christianity. So like, where's the line that kind of like pointed that out for me? I guess the word fall was kind of what made me think that. So I don't know if you agree, but
yeah, that's good.
It's just kind of what
good.
kind of came out to me. So
where we're headed next is the bridge, and I just want to say that Kirk Franklin is amazing.
Yes.
And as y'all listen to that, pay special attention to just the power in his voice, the emphasis. I mean, it's super personal.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, let's kind of jump into it. So this is the bridge. I love the organ you can hear in the background. Okay, pause it. Yeah, because that was part of the chorus again. I was just trying to remember. But yeah, that was the bridge, and oh my gosh, the bridge of this song is so good. It's like I feel like the whole song was leading up to kind of that vibe, but then right there at the end, it just kind of like popped off a little bit. It's like, in case you were wondering, yes, this is very much so like a soul kind of vibe.
Yes.
So, let me go ahead and read that for us. Okay. And then I'll actually say another point about how the bridge is written, but I'll wait till after I read it. So the bridge reads, if you're looking for hope tonight and you're feeling all alone, if you're feeling alone tonight, if you are in the fight of your life, I can promise we're going to make it happen. I will be by your side, 'cause love is in the air tonight. Come up and see the light whenever, just as long as we stay together. And kind of before we jump into like what we think the bridge might be saying, I want to point out that as I'm looking at the lyrics here, they wrote it in a very interesting and kind of cool way. So whenever I was in college and I used to take choir classes, a lot of times there would be sections for different people in the choir. So you like had soprano 1, mezzo soprano, first alto, second alto, and that sort of thing. And you were the music was written in a way that everybody could see what everyone else was doing, but you had a line that you were supposed to read. And it's kind of interesting the way that they put the bridge here, just like for our public eye, not as like a choir, but just like for us. As an audience member, you actually get to see a little bit into what the choir and like the lead singers would be looking at. Because it has what I think Kirk Franklin and Tori Kelly were saying, and then also what the choir was saying simultaneously. So I thought that was kind of cool that they added that into there, so that way you can kind of see yourself all the moving parts that are kind of going on with this song, but there's like a sense of it being together still. I don't know. That's just something I wanted to add.
That's cool. The verses and the pre-chorus, I feel like all kind of moves up towards, addressing us, listening to the song. I mean, the message really is tailored for us. And by the time we will roll into the bridge and we have Kirk Franklin, which, this is really the first and pretty much only moment for him in the song. I feel like it becomes suddenly very personal, like
that's true.
In the lyrics themselves, he actually, my sister, my brother, as if he's like got somebody in mind, and so I just really appreciate how personal it gets into the bridge.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I do definitely think that exactly what you were saying. There's a sense of like personableness with it, but I also think it kind of reiterates the message of hope and finding strength through faith, and it also kind of like emphasizes God's presence and love as a source of like support, if that makes sense. Yeah, that was something I was picking up from the words as I was reading them in the bridge. So yeah, that was the bridge, and now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the last, I think the the post chorus.
Outro?
Yeah, the outro and the post chorus. I
Okay.
think is what they called it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go ahead and play that. Here we go. Oh, there it is.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, the choir. Wow. This song is so good. The energy in this song is so amazingly put together. And actually, I wanted to real quick. Okay.
Together with our differences, together we are bolder, braver, stronger.
And that was the outro.
There it is.
I was gonna pause it for a second, but I forgot what I was gonna say. So,
That's okay.
yeah. All right, I'll go ahead and read that for us. Then we'll kind of dive into what we think the last part of that is,
Okay.
and then we will jump into the overall analysis.
Sounds good.
So, all right, let me go ahead and read the outro for us. So, yeah, essentially what the chorus was saying what it was saying earlier. Is if we fall, we will fall together. And then I see you, my sister, that part.
Mm-hmm.
And the outro, which I think is sung by Joel, I'm pretty sure that was Joel singing
Okay.
it. It says, "Together we are dangerous, together with our differences. Together we are bolder, braver, and stronger."
Yes.
It was a really powerful
Which
outro.
is the only moment that language was actually, introduced in the song, right there,
Yeah.
sort of at the end, kind of
Mhm.
the capstone, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's
of the
true.
song,
yeah.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when I first heard that, and I was just kind of meditating on how this song could be helpful to people, what came to my mind,
Mm-hmm.
which is, something studied a long time ago. There's this theory in the world of psychology called Gestalt. It's like a German theory,
Uh-huh.
and they have a lot to say. But one theme in Gestalt is the whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
Okay.
And so I mean, that's I'm sure nobody else is thinking like that when they hear the outro, but that's what came into my mind.
Uh-huh.
And he was saying, something like, "Together we are dangerous." And of course he means that in love.
Right.
And so the notion that when we work together as a team,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get far more than you ever would get if you're just trying to do something on your own. I mean, the actual output is substantially more.
Yeah.
It somehow it just multiplies and exponentially,
Mm.
and that's the message. I totally believe that is a picture of heaven. I
Mhm.
think that's how
Yeah.
it actually works in heaven, God's space.
Mm-hmm.
And so this song is really worth celebrating.
Yeah, it is really, really good. I
Yeah.
remember, I think this song came out while I was just starting out in college. I think I was in my freshman year, and I remember driving over to my campus, and this song came on the radio for the first time, and I remember thinking, I'm gonna have an amazing day just because I heard this song first thing in the morning. It's a sign that freshman semester is gonna go fine. So, but let me go ahead and see what else was that. Something I wanted to say about. Oh yeah. So one thing that I also thought about the outro, which is kind of cool, is I think it kind of celebrates the power of unity in a diverse Christian community. And I think it also kind of emphasizes the idea of faith that supports one another, so that believers can kind of overcome challenges and rise together, as it said right there toward the end and in the chorus and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's just
Cool.
kind of a
Yeah.
thought I had about that.
That's good.
Okay, so yeah, that was the entirety of the song. So now what we're going to go into is kind of an overall analysis of the song. So we went through and we kind of did a deep run of everything that's in the song. That's great. We kind of know what the song is talking about now. But now the question is, what can we do with this information that we just garnered from this song? So I think the overall theme we could kind of say was it was hope and unity and
Sure.
second chances.
Sure.
So that's kind of what I took from the song, what it was saying to me. So if I was somebody who listened to this, what could I do now with that information, knowing the song?
One very important theme, because we're talking about music therapy, which would be set in a mental health context, is that music, and it's like a song,
Right.
has it brings a lot to the table. One chief theme would be the mood.
Right.
And then the next, of course, would be the message in the lyrics. And
Right.
so a song can deliver something that not just ministers to you in your mind as you're thinking about stuff, but it literally gets down into your bones. I mean, you can feel your body almost moving to the beat of the song. So an important message that you may need to learn and sort of absorb is best brought to your whole person through a song. That's actually the genius of music therapy. So a lot of times what you want to do is kind of understand where you're at in life, where you're struggling. I mean, we're all always growing, okay?
Right.
And so what area of life do I need to be growing in now? And often it has to do with, kind of where are my pains, where my hurts. And then the next question is, what song would carry a message that would minister to me? Because you want to match the song to where you're at.
Makes sense.
And then you want to develop like a habit or maybe a rhythm where you're listening to the song and the message, or perhaps maybe a whole playlist of songs and messages that will minister to you and help you grow to the next level. Okay, so I mean, just practically speaking, that's kind of how music could be introduced in the mental health context. And of course, we're thinking about this from the Christian perspective. So these songs would have like a very strong faith element, of course.
Right.
And so this particular song wants to emphasize, don't be alone, don't be isolated. A lot of times, you're feeling down, and what you want to do is just go hide and isolate. Maybe that's not so great.
Right.
And
True.
there could be fear, there could be insecurity, kind of keeping you from maybe putting yourself out there. So the message of the song really tries to give you almost beyond yourself the energy to go like ask for help, and make yourself available to people that love you.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that is actually kind of the promise of this particular song. Again, back, not to be hokey, but together.
Right, the theme, the word,
theme.
literal title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what maybe one analogy that's fun too is think about a bouquet.
Okay.
You have flowers, and they all represent a bouquet. And every flower in its own right is beautiful and delicate.
Right.
But if you bring them all together, you have something that is spectacular. And you can arrange it in all sorts of different ways and have something new, even just by the arrangement of the flowers. I mean, that's a very nice way to think of together in the beauty that comes with it.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, so kind of like an overall analysis, so it would be kind of like 3 main points about the song that somebody could like use for themselves in their own personal time.
Okay. So to take the song and personalize it.
Right.
Where are your hurts? Do you have a busted heart? And if so, what does that look like for you?
Right.
And then create a rhythm where you would be listening to the song on purpose.
Right.
In a meditative sense, bring it into your life enough to count. And it has to be deliberate, so have a habit. And then take the song literally and seek community, share with people.
Right.
Invite, your story and their story together in a conversation. So you could just take those 3 points right there and you would do some real good in your life.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah. So that was kind of our overall thoughts and analysis of the song Together by For King and Country. Our hope is to go ahead and put this song in one of our playlists that y'all can actually go through and listen to in order. If you guys are kind of going through like a certain season of your life, we like to title those playlists like according to that, which we'll be making those playlists soon. It's just a matter of putting them together and then figuring out what platform we're going to actually use to kind of put the playlist together. So but yeah, so I think this one will go under the, what did we call it? Recovery? Yeah, the recovery playlist. And then we have another one that we'll be putting together called the Discovery playlist, which is kind of, if you were to say what the Discovery playlist was, what would you kind of like say about that one? It's a little bit more of a, like if you're going through like tougher times, I guess.
Well, sometimes what happens is you might be struggling with something, but you can't quite work out what it is, maybe just finding words is really, really hard. I'm hurt, but I just can't quite
figure out.
Why? I mean, and so the Discovery playlist function is to help you kind of enter into more of I guess, a meditative state where you examine your thoughts and your emotions, and you kind of
Right.
journal through that.
Okay.
Really pinpoint why it is that you're hurt. So that's the discovery, because I mean, you can't work on something if you don't know what it is.
Yeah, true.
And then the recovery side of the house would be, okay, this is what I'm doing about it, and I don't want to just stay in my pain. I want to move out into a place of healing and freedom. So that would be the recovery. Just, kind of just those two, and that's what counseling is about. Counseling often is discovering where it is that I'm hurt, and then, okay, now what do I do about it?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those two playlists will be available for you guys to listen to. And then also very soon we'll have some sort of like subscription based like thing where you guys can go through and actually get the notes that we have for these podcasts. So that way, if that's something that y'all want, it'd be easy for you guys to go through and kind of do an analysis of like your own story and everything, but using our notes. I don't know. If that's something that y'all want, we'll go ahead and put that on there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will let y'all know when we are going to be doing another one of these. Hopefully we'll be doing another one this Sunday or Monday. I'll put it like as a post or something in a description, so that way y'all can kind of be informed and not be like guessing as to when we'll be back on. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Absolutely.
And we'll see y'all very, very
Thanks
soon.
for joining us.
Bye, guys.